Model guns in Japan profiled by Lucifer 7922. This video introduces a Japanese toy gun. The toy guns I introduce are called model guns in Japan. It is called a cap gun by the world standard, but I call it a model gun. MP40. This time, I will introduce the MP40. Perhaps older Europeans may have a dislike for this gun, which is historically well speculated. But I have no political intentions. So just think of it as an introduction to a model gun. In 2006, I purchased this model gun by mail order. I think it is about $350 at the current rate. First of all, it can be assumed that this model gun was manufactured in 1979. Remember this. The situation at that time was reproduced. The woman in the upper left is very impressive. This is a 54-page masterpiece of the then-paid catalog. It may seem strange that the model is not Japanese. However, in Japan at the time, I thought it was modern. It seems a bit humorous now. This model gun is made of zinc alloy. Therefore, the weight is equivalent to a real gun. But there is a decisive difference. The appearance of the recoil unit is different from the actual gun. It is very disappointing that the spring is exposed. Therefore, we decided to reproduce the appearance of the recoil unit. I designed and drew the parts of the recoil unit. These are drawings. But the drawings are ambiguous. So I decided to use a blog. Click on the URL displayed in the video summary field. You can display detailed drawings. The recoil unit tube design was simple, because it was assumed that you would handle it yourself. However, designing springs is difficult, because I was ignorant. So we collected information on the net. As a result, the following formula was obtained. This is the formula for finding the spring constant. From this formula and the dimensions of the standard spring, a prototype spring was designed. I was not convinced of the design, but outsourced it. Soon after, a prototype spring arrived. The top is a standard spring and the bottom is a prototype spring. Display the delivery tag for reference. The parts are ready. Although written in English, it may not be the official name. Please check the blog drawings for details. Bolt. Stop screw ring. Recoil tube, middle. Recoil tube, end. Stopper. Coil guide. Prototype spring. The recoil unit could be assembled without any problems. Once again, look before the improvement. And then incorporate it into the body. I haven't seen any real guns, but as far as I can see the images on the net, it's a satisfactory finish. There was another problem with the appearance. It is a stock arm tube. The color is different from the surroundings. It was improved like an image. With this, the appearance was completed. The next theme is behavior like a real gun. Basically, I understand that the concept of developing a model gun is that it has the same appearance as a real gun and behaves like a real gun. Of course, not all model guns are manufactured with the same concept, but at least this MP40 has been developed on the premise of simulating movement using gunpowder. So, I aimed for it. Simulating movement using gunpowder means blowback. It is common for Japanese model guns to use cartridges that resemble live ammunition. This MP40 also comes with a cartridge to blow back. However, as mentioned earlier, it is an old model gun manufactured in 1979, so standard gunpowder currently on the market cannot be used. In addition, we have obtained information that the functions are inferior. Therefore, we decided to prototype a cartridge that can use the current standard gunpowder. The standard gunpowder name is Cap gunpowder. This video will use this name in the future. This is Cap gunpowder. Nominal dimensions are 5mm and 7mm, but the amount of gunpowder is considered equal. Well, I have to design a cartridge that can use cap gunpowder, but I have no knowledge and experience. So I got a cartridge used in another model gun. It is the cartridge used for M1921. Why M1921? To understand that, you need to know the relationship between the Japanese in MP40 and M1921. The times go back to 1962. In the fall of that year, one TV drama began to air. It is Combat, made in the United States. War drama depicting the battle between the Allies and the Nazis after the Normandy landings. However, it was actually a human drama on the theme of psychological conflict in extreme conditions. One of the main characters, Sergeant Chip Saunders, was holding the M1921 and the German soldier was using the MP40. These guns left a strong impression on the hearts of Japanese boys who grew up watching the drama. By the way, at that time I felt that the M1921 was rugged and the MP40 was smart. By the way, the manufacturer of this M1921 was produced by MGC. However, MP40 introduced this time was produced by MARUSHIN KOGYO CO, Ltd. In order to know the difference of the blowback method, I also got the cartridge of new MP40. New MP40 is made of resin and is manufactured by MARUSHIN KOGYO CO, Ltd. Let's start with the cartridge used in the M1921. This is called 45 CP. CP stands for cap piston. At first glance, it looks like 4 parts, but 5 including the O-ring. It felt like a high-quality design. Total length 30 mm, outer diameter 11.8 mm. The O-ring is called P3 in Japanese standards. The second is a cartridge for resin MP40, called 9.5 PFC. PFC stands for plug fire cartridge. It consists of 3 parts, but the primer is press-fitted. So 4 parts. This does not use an O-ring. Total length 27 mm, outer diameter 9.5 mm. The outer diameter of the primer is 2.1 mm. I wrote the drawings for the 2 cartridges. However, the display is bad, so please refer to the blog. Well, we looked at the 2 cartridges in detail. I understood the 45 CP system. So basically we designed the prototype cartridge with reference to 45 CP. On the other hand, I cannot understand the 9.5 PFC system at all. However, we thought that primers were useful and decided to use only those parts. We used the primer because we thought that it had the advantage of using 2 cap gunpowder. Here, the right side is called a single cap, and the left side is called a double cap. The 2 cartridges were made by lathe. The recoil unit is also manufactured by lathe. Let's see the actual prototype cartridge. The material is titanium. The total length of the prototype cartridge is 30 mm, the same as 45 cp, and the outer diameter is 10 mm, the same as the genuine cartridge. By the way, the total length of the genuine cartridge is 28 mm and the outer diameter is 10 mm. Thereafter, a chamber and a firing pin corresponding to these cartridges were manufactured. After all, it is made of titanium. What looks translucent is the silicon O-ring. The purpose is gas sealing and locking. In Japanese standards, it is called P5. Here, the blowback mechanism of the model gun will be briefly described. The cartridge is held by the magazine. This is the same structure as a real gun. With the bolt in the retracted position, insert the magazine into the model gun. When the trigger is pulled, the bolt is released and moves forward due to the rebound of the recoil spring. The bolt continues to advance, pushing only the cartridge forward when the bolt reaches the magazine position. Eventually, the bolt will insert the cartridge completely into the chamber. The movement so far is the same as a real gun. Although it cannot be seen from the outside, it is thought that it is in a state like an image. From here it will be different from the actual gun. With a real gun, the firing pin strikes the primer behind the cartridge from the rear to start burning. However, with the model gun, it is crushed by the front firing pin and bolt, and the cap gunpowder burns. The combustion gas expands and tries to push the firing pin forward. However, since the firing pin is fixed to the main body, the cartridge itself is pushed back. As a matter of course, the bolt is pushed back, compressing the recoil spring. The cartridge is ejected on the way, but the bolt passes the starting point due to inertia. Then, a series of processes is repeated again by the repulsive force of the recoil spring. This is the mechanism of the full auto blowback by the open bolt. Let's return to the main subject. Immediately after firing several shots of each cartridge, a problem was found with the double. It is difficult to set cap gunpowder. This is due to the reverse taper. Then, the combustion gas leaks from the screw portion. In addition, it turned out that a single cap is sufficient for the function. From these results, it was decided to use a single cap. In addition, a single cap with minor changes using brass was also manufactured. There are two differences from titanium cartridges. The total length is 28 mm, the same as the genuine cartridge, and the cylinder depth is 16.5 mm. And everything is ready. Well, this is all I have to say about the Japanese model gun MP40. Thank you for watching until the end. I would be grateful if you could learn a little about Japanese toy guns. However, I'm sorry, but I don't have the ability to answer comments other than Japanese. Please forgive me. See you again. And goodbye.